Hey everyone, welcome to Sketch a Day Live. Happy to see you here. The brave who've joined me. I don't know if you're joining me from Instagram or not, but welcome. Thanks for being here. What's up, Design Diaries? So excited to sketch along. Mandar, let's go. Hey. Adriana, how are you? Basist? Hello. All right, we'll get started. I'm also streaming on the Clock app. I know. I gotta try and build that one out. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Give me just a sec. In the meantime, I'm also charging up my iPad because where's my A bubble now? There we go. I'm charging up my iPad because I thought it was ready to go, but it's not. So maybe by the end of the stream here we can do a little digital, maybe not, but I was gonna do some iPad sketching, but here we are. It's a good thing we know how to draw on paper, though. What's up, Agustina? Hello. Where you watching from? Let's do some warm-ups. You know the drill. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday, or I guess it's almost Monday for some of you. Probably almost Monday for some of you. All right, let's go. Got our straight lines, circles, and ellipses. We were live on Friday as well, 2 times in a week. I'm trying to get up to 2 times again. I've been slacking. I really have. Man, at one time I was doing like 4 days a week, but I think that was burning me out. 2 to 3 seems doable. 2 to 3 times seems doable. Is drawing, talking, teaching at the same time? It's actually hard to do. Let me know also if you're watching on YouTube, if the overhead is too dim. I can always brush up on that. Do some run over on my Procreate brushes. Yeah, I can do that. It's actually a good shout out, call out. I put together a video. I just put it out on Instagram just to show a little bit of me using my brushes. I can talk about why I created them and so on as well. I mean, who knows? Maybe I can do that at the beginning of the show. We can do some iPad stuff, and you can see how I do it. Y'all on TikTok, can you hear me okay? I totally forgot to grab my little Bluetooth earbud and put in, which I normally have for the show here, so apologies if you can't hear me. Yeah, I have no idea where it is, so anyhow, use the brush set tool a lot. Nice. Let's do some circles. I know this is like the boring part of the show. Come on, just do something cool. I get it. I have to warm up too. I gotta make sure I can draw well, draw properly. All right, let's do some quick ellipses. And I'm just reusing the paper here. This way I don't have to waste anything. The idea here being you're kind of practicing the stages of viewing a circle in perspective at different angles. That's the idea as you warm up. All right, so if someone is looking at a circle, maybe it's a soup can or something, right? So that's why I like this particular warm-up exercise. Just kind of gets me in the right frame of mind. Some people like to do it with let me switch to a Sharpie so you can see it better. Some people like to do this with 2 lines that diverge. So you might have, instead of parallel lines, right? These lines look like they, I guess depending which way you look at it, diverge or converge. And this way, ooh, I've never actually done this in reverse. This is interesting. I think I discovered a new way to warm up because it just causes you to think a little bit differently. So yeah, since these now, I guess I did this the wrong way, but since these converge, then it's a bit more like perspective drawing in a real sense. So that's another way to do it. All right, let's see how my battery pack is doing on the old iPad. What do we got? We got 2%. So we may have to wait a little bit for me showing you brushes. Yeah, it says 5% now. But I was just working on a few product sketches using those brushes. See, it's still loading the image. Yeah, I've never seen my iPad load. Yep, it just died. So I'm gonna have to just leave it be to catch up here. All right. Probably gonna start with a spaceship because I like spaceships. But if you have anything sci-fi related, or maybe we can do some sci-fi architecture, do some like fortress type stuff. Architecture is always a little bit fun, and I can kind of sketch a little bit loose here. Maybe some sort of, I don't know why, but I was kind of thinking of some sort of like fortress. Maybe there's stairs, steps. You know, I'll just kind of use lines to shade here. Y'all can see that okay, right? Let me zoom in for the overheads. For the TikTokers a little bit as well. This is like really hard to do. 2 angles, 2 cameras. Sci-fi fighter jet. Okay, we could do that. Sci-fi fighter jet. Anyhow, some sort of fortress here. Who knows what it's for, what it's about. I guess I should think of that. If you're gonna draw something, right? It said 4. I don't want it to be ominous. I'll do a couple of these and then we'll move on to the fighter jet. This is just a Papermate flare, by the way. That's what we're using today. Pretty chill. I like to see using different brushes for line work on Procreate. All right. Like I said, I have to let my iPad charge up a little bit. But if I don't get to it today, I might stream on Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'll be happy to take a look then too, or next time y'all happen to tune in to the stream. So just letting you know, I'm not quite sure when my iPad will be charged up here. As always, hope you're doing well. Shout out to the patrons and channel members. Thank you for your support. Much appreciated, much love. If you don't know what that is, check out patreon.com/sketchaday. Right now I'm not super active on there, and I apologize for that, but I do appreciate those who've stuck with it. Even if it's like, I just appreciate what you're doing on the live streams. Cool. You know, I appreciate that too. So small drones, that's a good idea. But I think I'm gonna try and do the sci-fi fighter jet, and hopefully by the end of that we'll have enough battery charge for. This is like turning into something medieval, which I didn't necessarily want. Anyhow, hopefully by then I'll have enough charge going through my iPad here. Yeah, this totally is turning into some like medieval style fortress, but I want to do something more like clean for the next one. Plus, it's a lot faster than having to draw stonework. Stonework's really hard. So you gotta remember the pattern and all of that. Add some laser cannons. Yeah, that would be an interesting crossover. I'll probably just add one marker to this too, just one gray marker, just for the sake of expediency in getting, I don't know, maybe there's some sort of crystal at the top of the tower. Who knows? I guess these could like come out like so. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. Less simple, less basic. Now we can modify some of the base here. Something like that. Just like that. Laser cannons. Laser cannons would be interesting. I don't know if they necessarily fit, but they would be interesting. I mean, there could be like one cannon, right? It could be just one cannon or something. So yeah, this is like some sort of medieval style keep. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for watching. There's a lot of things you could be doing. You could be watching some true crime documentary on Netflix right now. Right. I'm not saying go get any ideas of what to do instead of watching. I'm just saying you're watching. And I appreciate you. I appreciate that. So thank you. Oh, I need to check my text here real quick. Okay. Okay, back. Sorry about that. Cheap paper for marker. Would you advise? The cheap one I like, and it's all relative, right? But I like this marker paper. It's Canson XL. It doesn't allow the marker to bleed through. It has a nice grit to it, nice tooth. Works really well with pencil too. So I like this one, and that's if you can find it, because you can't always find every paper everywhere. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's the one I like. Oh, hey, what's up? Good to see you. Thanks for watching. Just had a friend pop in on the TikTok side of things. I'm also streaming on YouTube, so if you want a better view, you can always go there. Just doing some warm-up sketches here as we get started. What's up, Mandy? Good to see you. I see you lurking. Today, well, should I even say that? No, I won't say that. It's funny how casual sometimes we get with information we share online. I was just about to say something. I was like, I'll wait a couple days to say that. But there's this really interesting TikToker. She will consensually dox people online. So she'll like dig up your social media and find out your birthday, for example. It's really fascinating, but seeing that account has made me reconsider like what I share and how much of it I share, and specifically like what you say. It's incredible, and we just sometimes we don't think about it, you know. That's my point. Sometimes we don't think about it. It's just like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's all good. Do I like that one? Trouble blending markers on that. On this one? I love it. I think it's one of the best marker papers. Truthfully. Not that I'm telling untruths. I guess it depends on what kind of marker you're using too. So, what are you using? These are gonna make me high. Probably. Not literally high, but they're just really intense. Interestingly enough, this is a warm gray marker. It doesn't feel like a warm gray marker. At all. But yeah, I don't have any problems blending with this particular marker paper. Unless, I don't know what you mean by blend, unless you're talking about like creating perfect blends, but that's a completely different proposition, I think.
Just need to be careful and you don't drown.
Completely different proposition. What markers are you using, Adriana? I usually use Copic markers. I don't use Chartpak as much. I mean, I'll still use them sometimes. I'm trying to just get some contrast in here, is what I'm doing, and I'm probably also spending way too much time on this sketch. But we'll do some other stuff while we get charged up. My iPad gets charged up, and I'm gonna do just a quick brush overview. Not necessarily sketch something using the brushes, maybe. Some marker basics. Maybe. Like marker basics related to what? Like how to hold your marker, blending. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? All right. I don't know where I put my warm gray 3. My chart packs here. Oh well. Jordan, what's up? We just started, so it's all good. As always, we're just having fun. It's good to see you though, brother. Also, thanks for the support. I saw you re-upped on the old Patreon. Much appreciated. I probably should have used a micron for this, but it's all right. This is like the flare is great for, I think, quick sketching and roughing things up, but when you're doing like final drawings, I don't like it as much, which I know is changing my tune a bit. I used to swear by these all the time, but sometimes they're just a little bit too loosey-goosey rough, but I guess it depends on what exactly you're trying to do. Having fun is the name of the game. Well, yes, I'm just doing random structures from my head right now. We're just having a little fun. I don't know what this is. I just know it's a cube that we're starting with here, and I do want Let's do a little thing under here or something. This almost feels like a tree house now, though. So let's cut it up. I'm gonna have pillars. Maybe it's the top of a structure. I'm gonna have pillars here, and then maybe these converge onto something. And we can do some sort of, maybe do some sort of buttress type thing here. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. Maybe that's actually a surface transition. Maybe. I don't know. We're just riffing. Never made it to the booth. How did it go? It went very well. I'll actually be doing Craft Lake City again. Thanks for asking. I'll be doing it again this December 3rd and 4th. I guess this is also mounted on some sort of rocky terrain. So yeah, I'll be doing it again December 3rd and 4th up in Ogden. There's a gift show and fair. In case those of you are wondering what that is, someone on TikTok asked how my craft show went, so I was just answering. So yeah, I am making some new products this time, trying some more stuff out. So it's always fun. It's always a good time when we do those. Let's just break this up a bit here. So yeah, we'll be doing that again December 3rd and 4th this year. So I'll see you there. Maybe there's a tiny doorway here and some steps and maybe some sort of bridge. Craft Lake is fun. Sci-fi treehouse. I mean, that's one way to look at it. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, it kind of feels like a treehouse. How can I save it? So thanks for ruining Vasist. You're welcome. Just kidding. It's not a big deal. Alright, so after this I'm going to do some sort of sci-fi fighter jet was the request. So we'll do that. And then hopefully my iPad will be charged enough and I'll do a rundown of some of my brushes that I've made for Procreate. And then answer any questions you have. Vasish is also asking about marker basics. So if you have questions about markers, I would say because I gotta plug my stuff, you know. But check out my marker guide. It's on my website, sketchaday.com. So it's a little PDF guide. I don't have it as a printable yet, or like a printed version. I'm thinking about how to do that. I might combine the pen and marker guides into one eventually. Not anytime soon, but anyhow, that's available on the website. You can check it out, sketchaday.com. But I'll give you just a couple tips for free today for those who are curious about marker and how to go about that. Craft Lake City is fire. Yes. I mean, I think it's fun. It's always fun. It's a little bit stressful because you don't know how much you're going to sell or if you're going to sell, but thank you to all the friends who, like Mandy, who always support. They're there. They pick stuff up, whatever. Much appreciated. I appreciate you. Yeah, I have no idea what this is up here, so I gotta figure that out. What is this? Is this like... Maybe it has more taper to it. I like it with more taper. It actually feels better. And then maybe this comes back, like so. So it's almost encapsulated or encased. Yeah. See, that feels better. Feels better already. And then we'll just kind of panel this out.
Yeah, bro.
Oops. Panel this out as we go. Make it look all techy and whatnot. Oh, what kind of stuff did you sell there, Rusted Friend? What am I drawing? I'm just drawing sci-fi structures just as warm-up sketches. So we kind of did this tower structure here to begin with. And then, you know, I'm super quick with some marker and stuff. And then we're doing this other structure, and I'll add some marker to it as well. But this is just an example of, like, sometimes I'll just draw and just go for it, and then, you know, it doesn't necessarily come together until the very end, and that's okay. You just kind of have to go with the flow. Go with the flow of things. So yeah, I make and sell lamps, some lighting products, and then I do, well, basically the theme is buying home goods. So it's I have a little home goods brand I'm working on behind the scenes, and I just make products related to that. So, and I'll do some art and stuff as well. So in case you're wondering, what is it he's doing? What is that? Okay. For this one, I'm gonna do some black in the background here. So it'll kind of help define the shape a little bit better. Make it kind of a vignette. And I mean, I don't want to go too far here, but just a couple hard shadows here and there. All right, just a little bit of shadow there. Energy power towers, maybe so. Type of thing you'd probably want to like take and sketch over at some point. Probably. These are chart pack markers. They're like my junk markers, you could call them. Don't tell chart pack that, but I prefer to use Copic in general. CNC Heinisch D&D dice towers. Oh, interesting. Sounds really interesting. I was just giving you crap, Vasish. I'm not mad about it. I am not mad. No worries there. All right. Let's make this a little darker, then we'll jump off and do like a sci-fi jet fighter was the request. Some sort of sci-fi fighter. Like alien or human or what? What are we going for? So here's a simple marker tip for you. I'll give you this one. You want to work light until you get it right. Start with your lightest lights and work your way to your darkest darks. Unless you know exactly what you're doing and where you want to put stuff. And then you want to think about contrast, which is also related to lightest lights against darkest darks. But that's going to help your stuff feel at least more three-dimensional. All right. Let's do a fighter jet. I don't know if this is alien or not, so I'm just going to go with whatever. So fighter jet, at least human, is going to look something like this. We'll just do like a very shallow perspective here. But yeah, I don't know. This is just what's in my head. This is not like an F-35 or anything like that. Plus I kind of ran out of space on the paper. All right. So thank you, Ken. Much appreciated. You can always tune into my YouTube. Let's draw a couple more profiles here. You can always tune into my YouTube. There's a fuller view there as well. All right, probably something like this. I guess you need stabilizer there and whatnot. And the wings gonna be something like this. All right, so just getting a feel for the profile, and then usually what I do in terms of structure for one of these, I'll kind of start like so. Don't worry, this is just warm up. I'm just doing like a regular plane just to start here. I also, this is not what I would consider to be also. I forgot. Because yeah, we're gonna have like, just forget that. We're gonna have like two. See, I don't remember the terms. Anyway, we're gonna have two of those there. Probably a bit more sculpting in terms of shape. And let's go ahead and snub the nose a bit more. Like so. And then we want our wing. All right, so this is where like me drawing it from my head, I'm like, this doesn't feel right. So I'm gonna go look and see kind of what the proportion is. Like, does this need to be more back? You know, more bubbled and back. Actually, that's starting to feel a bit better. Like so. Super rough here just to get started. You know the drill, you know the deal. All right, so something super rough. I'm gonna take a look and consult the Book of Knowledge, Fighter Jet. All right, so y'all watching from my phone can't see this at all, but this is what I like to do. So I'll just look up here on the fight, on the Google, kind of get a sense. All right, so it looks like, this is an F-35 right here. All right, that's a good reference shot. Oh, here's an interesting one. You've got all this stuff underneath, and then, you know, it's kind of like I'm drawing right now, but hang tight. I'm just taking a visual note, you might say. All right, so that's interesting. And then you've got like, okay, cool. All right, so I just took a quick visual note. We can keep scrolling here. Yeah, that geometry is really interesting. Okay, we've also got this style. Looks like they've got some sort of wing up front as well, which is also interesting. All right. So this is why, you know, it's okay to look at reference and see something. This is the visual note I took. Because then it might inspire some other thought, right? Okay, we've got the cockpit up top and everything else below. Interestingly enough, the F-35, which, you know, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but that's been kind of a boondoggle. But the F-35 is very compact, comparatively speaking, so it seems. So I'm going to start with more of a platform shape like this, and then I'm going to say, let's come up and have some sort of cockpit here. Right, so in doing this, I allow myself to have a bit of visual space, right? And this can kind of be the body, like so. And then we can have, I think they're called aerons, I don't remember. Anyhow, we can have our tail pieces like so, and then maybe throw in another one here. And in case you're wondering how I'm doing this in terms of perspective drawing, it's a matter of thinking of this as a square, right? And so when I look at this distance, or not square, rectangle, so when I look at this distance, I'm just trying to mirror it over, which is why visually I can just say, yeah, it's about there, if I were to flip this shape to the other side. So that's what that is. All right, now let's get our wings in here. All right, back to YouTube on the Chrome. Happy Sunday once again. I'm going to zoom out just a touch. There we go. So you can see a little bit better. So yeah. Again, if I think of this as a box, this is the middle point, right? If I just draw through this point, through here, where this wing would end, this wing's going to end somewhere here, which looks weird, but that's what perspective does, is it shortens things, okay? I think I may use this as a platform for whatever the sci-fi jet I do is. This is not it yet. I'm still just trying to figure out shapes and geometry, proportion, all of that stuff. All that good stuff. So now let's take this. I'm gonna do a little trick here. I'm gonna fold this piece, put it under, place it on the page where I want it, and then now I can just use this as an underlay. And now we can get all sci-fi. The ink smudges a lot when you try to blend them and leave watercolory edges. All right, let's for this one, let's try and do some marker and see if I can address some problems, some challenges, and give you some tips. Thanks again for joining. This is Sketch a Day Live, Sci-Fi Sunday. We're doing sci-fi stuff. Warmed up with a few structures, towers that we did. And now we're moving on to request for some sort of sci-fi jet. So since this is a sci-fi jet, I'm gonna, take some liberties with it. But again, the nice thing here, I'm gonna have kind of a snub nose on this guy. I don't feel like I have to be as precise since it is a sci-fi jet. And like I said, I'm gonna have like extra pieces. Think of it like War Machine to Iron Man's was it Extremis? His like most advanced armor. Think of it like that. All right. Got this piece here. So maybe it's more like a multi what do you call it? Multi-function, multi-situation attack jet of some sort. Almost like Robotech a little bit. Did y'all ever watch Robotech? I used to love that show. I mean, don't ask me about the plot or anything like that, but used to love watching that for sure. You have the same Friskers board. Sweet. I use it because it helps me align my cameras so that things aren't too ski-wampus and off when I'm drawing. At least when I'm drawing on things like YouTube. So this is where I'll take liberties, things like the wings here. I don't know if I like this shape though, so I'm gonna have to figure out something to do with this shape. But don't worry, we work with our mistakes here. We'll make it cool. All right, let's go like that, and we'll get our flap in here. Go do like a little return on the wing right through there, and then maybe at this point kind of have some point through here. All right, I've got these flaps. My paper moved as well, so I'm not tracing, by the way. I'm just using this to make sure I get a decent relative position on things. At least that's the idea. All right, iPad should be getting nice and charged up. So if you have any iPad questions, let me know. Especially about the brushes. I do have a brush kit available for those interested, and I'll show you how I use some of those brushes. Because I know some of y'all have been like, did I mess this up? I totally messed this up. All right, we're gonna fix it. No worries. I totally put that on the wrong side. Thanks again for joining me on Sketchaday Live. Why is this frozen? Is it frozen? Looked like it was frozen on YouTube. We're good, right? Yeah, we're good. Okay. Sometimes I don't know what's happening with YouTube, so forgive me. Anyhow, let's go. A little chubby sci-fi fighter jet here. Get a little bit of the cockpit in. Can you use your Procreate brushes in Adobe Fresco? You cannot, unfortunately. But I do have brushes for Fresco and Photoshop as well. So you can check those out. Hey, Is it Jean Benoit or Jean Benoit? Which is it? Thank you, Art Room. I see you, Art Room. I'm just learning. I'm always learning, so I appreciate that. Thank you. At least I feel like I'm always learning. I mean, I've been drawing for a while, but you know what I mean. Hopefully you know what I mean. Alright, so that's enough line work. So now I'll just use the same markers. I'll just use the same markers here. I could have sketched this in marker first too. Maybe we'll do some hints of another color here and there, but start with our lightest marker, shade in those shadow areas, anywhere that needs a shadow, I should say. And I like to go from there. Upward facing surface receives light, obscured surface dark. And it's really not much deeper than that. It's just, you know. What paper and pens am I using? I'll show you in just a sec, as well as markers. And then we'll jump into digital. All right, let's do a quick test. That green is actually really nice. Oh, that's another nice one. Keep these two. I'm just testing my marker colors here. This yellow is interesting. So I'm gonna hang on to the yellow, but we're gonna go with a little bit of green here. What's up, Adriana? Did I make a mistake? Is there something? You're giving me side eyes. I can't tell. All right, let's deepen our understanding. Do you need good ventilation? I mean, ideally, I am totally breathing it right now. I just opened my door in my studio so I have a little fresh air, but yeah, if you use these markers, these are called ad markers, chart pack. They have a very, very, very strong scent, so you just want to make sure you're not just breathing it in without concern. So I see what you're saying now. Oh, the marker technique. Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense. So some of using marker is about letting your markers dry and knowing when to go with a lighter marker. The other thing with chart packs is they tend to, I call it drying back, but it tends to lighten as it dries. So it's just something to think about. How much ink you put down on the paper also makes a difference. So you just want to pay attention to that too. I really don't want to draw anything in the cockpit, so I'm trying to avoid that right now. And I may just do like a dark or tinted cockpit with this jet is begging for like some orange accent. It's just like, give me some orange. Put something orange on me. So I'm gonna do that. I actually don't know if I have orange in chart pack. I may have to go to my Prismacolor, Copic here. But yeah, I feel like it's just begging for some sort of orange accent. Isn't that nice? The orange with the green there. At least I like it. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Now, we'll finish off the wing. Chill. What's good? Nadir. Hello. Or Nadir. Flame paint job. You know, I wish I had thought of that before you rolled up in here and threw me off completely, because that would have been hella cool. Someone on TikTok suggested a flame paint job, so I'm also streaming on YouTube for those wondering. Why does he keep mentioning TikTok? Or YouTube? Whatever, either way. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. It's hard controlling a phone and streaming at the same time with like the computer. Just gotta be a better way. I wish they'd open up their platforms so I could just stream directly from my computer, but no such luck yet. All right, now let's add a few more things with the pen, and we'll use a white pen as well. Clean up some of our line work. Get sturdy, as the kids say these days. Is that what kids are saying anyways? I don't know. So I'm just beefing up some lines here. I'm using Add Markers Chart Pack. That's what I'm using. This is a pale sepia, for example. That's what I'm using right now. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Alright. Let's keep going. Okay, so like I said, I didn't want to finish the cockpit necessarily, so I'm going to do a little cheat here. We're going to cheat. Not really cheat. We're just going to work smart, not hard. Work smarter, my son. Alright, so we'll just throw some grays in here, paying attention to lighting. because then you're dealing with silhouettes and not people specifically. Alright, we'll go ahead and kind of tone this up. I'm going to give that a minute to dry. It's a little too wet. A little too wet. Get your minds out of the gutter. So yeah, in this case, you kind of work back and forth with the marker and pens. Throw some scratches on here. See, I didn't prepare for this show, so I'm just hoping. I'm hoping everything is like at my fingertips, because I don't know. I don't know where stuff is right now. Just came from the gym, and I was like, let's stream, let's go. And here we are. What's up, Saman? Maybe show a couple rivets here and there. Just little tick marks. Little tick marks. Makes it feel like a human made it. All right. Couple things I want to tweak here. Some of these surfaces are a little bit too light. So we're just gonna kiss the surface with the gray marker there. And then we'll deepen some of the rest on the top. Now that it's dry, we can get more of a gradient. So maybe, Adriana, part of what you're struggling with is not waiting long enough for the marker to dry. That could be one reason. Or you are waiting too long, which I know sounds confusing. It's just when you're blending markers, you want to just be mindful of like the limitations, which again probably isn't helpful and probably doesn't sound like it makes sense. But what I'm trying to say is sometimes you do want it to be wet, sometimes you want it to be dry, depending on the effect you're going after, right? It just depends on what you're going after. All right, so there's the cockpit. Let's zoom in for the YouTubers so you can see a little bit better there. This is Sketch Day Live. Thanks for joining. Happy Sunday. Hope you're doing well. I've got a date with some chicken wings after this stream. Yeah, you gotta experiment a little bit. I'll go over just some quick marker basics in just a sec, and then we'll jump into the digital side. I'll go over my brushes with you. You know, you can always add text, arrows, things like that. If you're doing jets and stuff like this, you know, no step. I'm not being super careful with my lettering there. And then a couple texture dots here and there. Keep adding that definition. And then I'm just gonna draw. I could use a ruler for this. I could. But I'm just gonna draw some lines here. Like it's flying or whatever, just really lightly. Just really light, nothing overwhelming. See, now I'm getting all nervous. I'm getting all nervous because I don't want to mess it up. Oh, there it is. I found it. My white pencil. Let's do it right there. Okay. White pencil, good, because when you have like spots you need to pop, or like part lines, things like that, you You can get in there, right? Start shading a bit. This is just a precursor to using the pen. The nice thing about the pencil is you can vary how bright it is. Very subtle. All right, but you can almost think of the marker as being like toned paper once you get to this point. And with a toned paper sketch, you're kind of leveraging the tone of the paper. Say that 10 times fast as you draw. So once I get my little highlights in, now I can use the white pen to kind of just pop a few spots here. My professor in college used to call this pigeon poop. Well, we can add a few of those, and now it's starting to pop, right? All right. Almost done. And my my iPad should also be doing well right now. All right, couple more things. There's always something you can do. Something more, right? I just want to kind of fix some contrast here. And then, right in this spot, we need to make that intake black. Do I prefer Posca or white jelly roll? It depends. Sometimes I'll use the jelly roll. But definitely as far as white pens go, Posca is up there in terms of paint pens and how they perform. Definitely up there.
I stole a pen from the bank. I cried during a powder boy.
All right, there you go. There's your sci-fi jet. No landing gear. And I left my mistake in there. But hopefully you kind of see at least how contrast can pull your eye away from things like that. I could go a step further, and I will. I always say that. I could do this or I could do that. So I'm just going to use the Posca paint marker here. We'll just cover it up a little bit. No one's going to know. How would they know? How will they know? Anyhow, can erase it that way, right? So, all right, I'm going to do some quick marker tips. I'm going to go over two things and then go ahead and sign this. I'm going to go over two things and then we'll jump in. All right, so markers. Woo! If you're using markers, you want to be mindful of a few things. So, and I hope this works with ChartPack. I've never actually tried this with ChartPack, but I'm going to use ChartPacks to show. ChartPack. So if your colors are, well, first things first, most markers are going to have like a chisel tip like this. Let me actually record this because this is useful. So first things first, most markers are going to have a chisel tip, right? So I can draw with the full chisel and get a nice stroke like this. And notice as I do each stroke, I'm skipping ahead just enough. Right, so that's one marker width, right? So 1, 2, 3 strokes, right? And it fills in the area. And you can do this with whatever color you want. It's just a matter of eyeballing and estimating where to draw so that there is no, I'll zoom in a little bit closer here so you don't see the overlap as much. That just takes practice, right? And with that chisel tip, I can angle the chisel tip in a way that allows me to use less of it. So this is now 5 strokes compared to 3. Or I can, in this case, I can rotate the chisel tip like this. All right, rotate it. Yeah, there we go. So now I can draw skinny lines, like so. You can even do vertical lines like this. Kind of get this interesting, expressive stroke by drawing vertically. So how you hold your marker, in other words, will affect how the stroke shows up. Now, this marker stroke's dried, so I can reapply some marker here. And notice that I'm reapplying the marker and stopping, say right there. I'm gonna let this dry a little bit more. And I like to think that there's about 3, maybe 4 applications of the same marker that you can do on your paper. And again, this is marker paper, so the back side of my paper is coated so that the marker doesn't go through to the other papers in my pad. So now that this is dry, I can hit it again and keep going. And now I have a bit of a blend, right? I can even just kiss that real quick, and I have a little bit of a blend, little bit of a blend. And this is just one marker. So I can take another red and start to hit that. Now I'm not going the whole way, right? Not going the whole way, but this is how we kind of get our blends, right? So in terms of application though, when you have 2 colors that are different, right? So I've got this yellow, and let's say I want to blend this yellow with the red. I'll use this cadmium red. How do you do that? Right? You get that hard edge. Well, truth be told, you really need some sort of middle value. I actually go over this in my book. You do need some sort of middle value, right? I can reapply the yellow like this until it starts to get a little bit better, and I can kind of apply the red and do a little bit of a truncated stroke here, and then I can apply some more yellow, right, and try and get that to just bleed and blend. But this is probably as close as you're gonna get with that, right? And I have those strokes in there and whatnot. So all markers have solvents in them, and that just means that that is a chemical that's going to allow the pigment of the marker to blend, bleed, transfer to the paper in a way that is lasting, and so on, right? So this is as close as I can get with these 2 markers. But if I had a middle value, and I don't, yeah, for some reason I don't really have, sorry about that, TikTok guys. Oh, I think that moved. All right, I don't really have a orange in these markers, but I do have this goldenrod color. So if I get this other color, and then maybe I can start to get a little bit better of a blend right through there, maybe. But even then, it's really hard. So you have to kind of take some other strategies if you're gonna blend. Ideally, what you want is 3 values. Okay, and I'll show you using my more expensive Copic markers here. So let's do 2. So I want to do 2. Let's do 22, 24, and 27. Okay. We're still in the reds here. We're still in the reds. Okay, so like I said earlier, you want to start with lightest lights, or work light till it's right. Okay. That's what we're gonna do. So in this case, I've got these Copic markers. All right, I've got these Copic markers. So I'm gonna start with my lightest, like so, and just fill in whatever area I'm gonna shade. And I'm gonna create a blend using these markers. So now I'm gonna take my 24, and instead of starting at the very end here, I'm gonna start about here. Go down like so. This one's starting to dry up. And then at the very end, I'm going to use my 27. Okay, that's Copic Red 27. And we can start to blend. All right, so 27 and 24 are close enough in value. You can see right there that now I can actually take a 24 and just hit where I hit the 24 before. Hit where you hit the 24 previously and then start to blend that way. All right, so this is more of a dry marker blend, and where I initially hit the 27. When I say dry marker blend, I mean I'm not doing a scrub on the paper. There's different ways to apply markers. So now that this is dry, and this is just one application of 24, I'm going to hit 22 again, just like that. Okay. Here's 24. We'll hit it one more time. Right through here. Hey, good to see you, Nick. Finally made it live. What do you mean, finally? All right, so this is the 27. If I want to go deeper here still, I'm going to take this lipstick red. This is Copic R29. And now I can just kind of hit this spot and blend up. Do I have an R20? I do. So then I can even go lighter. I have an R20. This is very light pink. Now just hit this spot a few times. Take my 22. This is one way to blend if you don't have a perfect like transition. The 20 is a little bit light, but we can keep scrubbing and see if we can get more of a blend there. All right, so here I have R20, R22, R24, R27, and R29. All right, so I've got all of these markers working together to get that blend. And those markers are in the same color family, right? But I can even, with the Copic markers anyways, here's a red 59. All right, so if I want to go deep, deep red, I can break this out now. And now I've got this deeper red, and then I've got this red violet 69. We can throw that on here, and we can go even deeper. Deeper and deeper. All right, so I used two different strokes here. In this case, I was using more of a deliberate stroke, and then here I use a scrub. So that's what I kind of meant. Oh, that actually went through. Look at that. I think the chart pack ate through the backing of the marker, but I don't have this problem, I will say, with my Copic markers. So never a problem. Hey, Mark, what's up? All right. So the other technique I was going to show you is more of a scrub, right? So I'm just going to uncap two markers here. There's a 27 and there's a 59. So 27, I can scrub and just kind of apply the marker here until it's nice and juicy on the paper. Oops, wrong cap. And then we can do the same thing here. And you can kind of see it's juicy on the paper, like so. Right, and then leave that. Then now I'm going to go back to this marker and then reapply and kind of blend those together. All right. So this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes you're going to get that anyways. All right, but unless you're constantly applying marker to the paper without stopping, you're going to get some sort of line there. So one fix for that would be getting that middle value, which is why I say, where is it? 29. Which is why I say in the marker sketch guide, having 3 values is going to be your best bet. So that was an R29. That's a 27, 29, and this disparate, different color.
We must talk now.
I could even take this violet 28 and start to apply it in here, and it's going to blend with the red. to create a deeper value. Well, how would I fix that boundary? Take a little bit of that color I used and basically wake up the ink with that solvent and help that blend. All right. So now this is looking like side of some car. Right? You get that nice little deep tone there. Super reflective and whatnot. All right. So that's how I would personally go about it. Like I said, Copics don't bleed through the paper, but in this case it looked like the chart pack bled through the paper. All right. The other thing that I like with the Copics is that you can airbrush with the markers. I hope this one's juicy enough. Let's see. I don't like how that one's shooting. I need a new tip for that marker. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a good marker to use here. That one dry? That one's not dry. So yeah, you can plug this into the airbrush tool here, and now I should be able to. It's got to be like a juicy marker, I've noticed. So fear not. And be like, he doesn't know what he's doing. How about you try an airbrush? All right, so here's one. Sorry, I just like playing with that. But you can use the airbrush, and then you can basically combine techniques. So on one hand, I'm using the airbrush. Let me just throw some lines here. Almost looks like a cylinder, right? Viewed from one spot, but you can combine techniques. Get things like chrome, right, or something shiny starting up. Like I said, maybe this is the side panel of a car or something, for example. So we need like a line to define define the body side there. So we can take our airbrush again. Sorry, I hit my phone with my head there. Anyhow, so I can take this and just you turn this on. Come on. Don't fail me now. All right, here we go. So with a little bit of masking, and this is just impromptu, all right, we can start to build gradient the other way. Asish, good question. What are your methods on storing sketches? I'll answer that in just a sec. But good question. Anyhow, so here's an example of how you can use a variety of marker techniques to get a certain quality in your sketches. Now, I'm not using all the range of color and stuff, but you can hopefully see here, you know, with a little bit of masking or after the fact work to clean things up, you can get a pretty simple but three-dimensional look in your sketch. Let's see if we can. There we go. A little bit better. Kind of. So method for storing sketches. I have an IKEA flat file that I bought a while back, so that's what I use. And then, are we on charge? iPad. Let's see how my iPad's doing. So I have an IKEA flat file setup that I use, and then I use these plastic covers for my work. So for example, at the end of the stream, I have this little plastic envelope thing here. I'll slide this sketch. Well, I don't want to. Is this dry yet? Yeah, it's dry. So I'll slide this in like so. And if I just want it to be the one sketch, I'll keep it like this. But if I'm just keeping everything, then I'll slide everything else in there. And then that becomes part of the stream. I can write on the plastic, or I can put a tag on or whatever to protect the work. So that's how I like to do it. And then I put those in the flat file. All right, so far we've done just a quick recap here. Did some structures, some sci-fi structures. You can see there. Went over some marker technique, how to use those markers if you're going to use them. And that's just a taste, just a little taste, because I do have the marker guide available on my website. You can purchase that if you're interested and you want to work on your marker skills. It's a great place to start. I think it's only like either $7.99 or $9.99, maybe $12. I don't know. Cheaper than a takeout meal these days. Holy crap. I went and got takeout the other day. It was like $25. I was like, what is happening? What is going on right now? Everything is so expensive. So definitely appreciate the support. I have about 200 of these plastic sheets. So anyhow, we did the jet. We did the underlay. We did the fortress. We did some more quick sketches. You get the deal. You get the dealio. What else? Is this all we've done? Shoot, I gotta do some more. All right, and then some more marker technique stuff. So if you are a patron, I will be scanning these and uploading them to the Google Drive. That way you can have high resolution scans for your reference. And as a show of my appreciation, I will do that for you. I think I do them at 600 DPI, so they're actually pretty detailed. If you want to zoom in, if you want to look at stuff, follow along while you're watching a replay of the stream, you can do that as well. I'm just cleaning up a little bit here on my table before we jump into some iPad stuff. What should I sketch on the iPad, though? That's the question. I already did a shoe on Friday, so I don't really want to do another shoe. I did a backpack the other day. I could do a helmet. Helmets are fun and easy. All right, let's switch over here on the old YouTube. Let's see, iPad Pro, and we're gonna turn this on. Boom. Is this working? This is not working. Oh, interesting. Okay, hold please. Intermission. I gotta fix this. You get to watch me fix it live. Okay. iPad Pro, and I'm going to add. What is this gonna be? Video capture device. And let's see. Okay. Nope, wrong one. Hold on just a sec. What the? Alright, I may not be able to do this right now. So hold please. Nope, you guys are seeing my passcode. Alright, here we go. It's only 2% charge. This isn't gonna work, guys. I'm sorry. So I'll sketch one more thing on paper, and tell you what, next time I will make sure that I'm actually ready to stream on my iPad, because I thought it would be charged by now, but it's not charged. So one more request. I'll do paper. Next time, promise it'll be all digital for the stream. I just don't know why. Like maybe my power adapter is faulty, or or something. I don't know what's going on, but happy to do one more sketch. How many different colors do I have of the Copic series? I have a few hundred markers. I don't even know what colors I have, honestly. I really don't. Like, I'm not keeping track of everything. I do have refills for certain colors that I use a lot. And then I have a video on my YouTube channel about how to store markers properly so they don't run out. Can I sketch on colored paper? I know how to. I don't think I have any right now. Yeah, I think I'm all out, so apologies there. I'm not prepared. Okay, I'm not prepared. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, what other sci-fi thing do y'all want to see? A robot? Something else? I don't know. A monster? What are we doing? I guess it is Halloween tomorrow. It is Halloween tomorrow. File organizer that fits in your backpack to take all your drawings to school. That sounds handy. That sounds very handy. I mean, okay, let me think. Monster. What am I gonna do? Trying to think of some ideas here. Tentacles are always easy. Can always do tentacles. But then that's basically an octopus. I don't necessarily want to do an octopus. What if an octopus and a flower were like an octopus and a flower had a baby? What would that look like? Darren, a blaster. Blaster. Okay, let's do a quick blaster. Quick blast. Like, depends on which sci-fi style, right? Depends. I don't usually do weapons, but here we go. We're here. I guess this is starting to feel kind of like Han Solo's blaster already. All right, but we want to make this feel sci-fi. So how do we do that? How do we do that? This is just a rough sketch, guys. Don't worry. I'll be like, oh man, he can't sketch a blaster. What the hell? Just a little thumbnail. Start with the side view, of course. Of course. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to go more traditional. You know, maybe this is some sort of what do you call it? Whatchamacallit? Maybe there's cables going up here or something. Oh, chamber filled with the fluid. Some sort of fluid chamber. How did you start visualizing in 3D while sketching? I've said this one before, but I think you have to learn to connect what you see with the mechanical side of drawing, and then it'll start to come together. At least that's how it is or was for me. All right, let's do a couple more here. Boo. All right. Blaster again, assuming somebody is holding this and some sort of ammo thing. And this is more like a kind of this weird symmetrical shape, actually. It's like, which side would you pick up? I don't know, man. Let's try and make this feel a little bit more intentional. There we go. That feels a little bit better to me. Kind of want to make this symmetric though. And then maybe like this is where your shot comes out. Shoot your shot. TikTok just sent me a notification. It says, you've gone live for 90 minutes today. Consider taking a break. That's funny. Thanks, I guess. Like, maybe you should shut this down. Never had any platform tell me that before. Maybe you should shut it down. Maybe. Maybe you should. Alright, this one's kind of interesting. So we can just roll with that. Or maybe I'll do a couple more thumbnails and then I'll just end on a blaster instead of a monster. Interesting to see your technique to sketch on wrapping paper or more general colored paper. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna put colored paper down and then iPad stuff. I gotta do something iPad related. Sounds like I gotta do something iPad related. I guess if it's a blaster, it wouldn't have necessarily anyways. It'd be more compact, but we could do something like this too. I still like this one, but figured I'd do a couple more quick sketches here. Just fill out the page. Something like that. And again, this is just pen. You know, nothing special about this. Maybe I'll continue that curve. So a lot of design too, just as a teachable moment here is, you know, I've got these general curves in the design. And so when you're drawing, try and find those overlaps. You know, even this line that I extended down is the termination of this piece that connects. So while this line may not be there visually, okay, it's kind of what you would call an implied line. Same thing here. If I wanted to have a different shape, you know, maybe have this line connect or whatever. And again, it's not part of the design so much as creating rhyme and reason and flow behind things. I don't know if this would be comfortable. We haven't prototyped it. We haven't prototyped it, so no idea if this would be, you know, comfortable or whatever. So just one way to go about designing stuff if you're doing it. Let's see. Let's do something with. I already have something with a chunky front, I guess. Maybe just more of a exaggerated barrel here. Maybe something like this. So viewed from an angle, maybe this would be like kind of like a 6-shooter, or maybe it's a 5-shooter or whatever. And you've got these pieces that kind of go around a cylinder of some sort. Could be interesting in perspective. Maybe it is a 6 shooter, but the 6th is in the middle. I don't know. Just saying. Kind of interesting there. Thumbnails are a great way to capture quick ideas as you're sketching. This one almost feels like a power tool because I have this like piece here on the back. All right, let's go with handle grip, something like this. And then some sort of trigger. Do you even need that? I don't think you'd necessarily need that, but quick shade here just to show geometry, how things are flowing. All right. Like I said, I still think I'm going to go with that one, so let's just do that. I'm going to keep these handy just off screen here. I guess it depends on which point of view you want to see, but maybe we can do both. Maybe we can do both. So one facing, you know, this way and the other facing the other way or something. Yeah, so this one I'll make this one as viewed from the back. Just kind of sketching in these details here. I guess now I got to think about the three-dimensionality of it. Maybe it's a little bit wider at a certain point here. Just nice and loose sketch, by the way. Nothing too complicated. Just keeping it loose. All right, this needs to come down a little bit more. And then we have our cutout here. Something like this. Boom. So now I got to figure out this geometry, right? Sweet. I'm digging that as a loose sketch. All right, we got a little meat in here we got to deal with. Oh no. We don't actually, so I'm gonna fix that. Okay, this is confusing me a little bit. Okay, I had this straight line. Oh, this needs to extend a little bit more. Like that is what's happening. And then I'll bring this down. That's okay though. It's okay. We can always change things a little bit as we go. No problem. All good. Alright, something like that. Love the third one. 1, 2, 3. This one. Yeah, that one's interesting too. Alright. And now I'm gonna add, you know, maybe just a few cutouts. Like maybe this piece has to flip up or something. On the top of our weapon. Let's see the back here. We got this hump. Do I want to include the hump? My humps, my lovely little humps. Check it out. I'll throw it in there anyways. And yes, I'm going to use some marker on these. Don't you worry. What's up, variable? I see you.
This is your life. Do what you love and do it often. This is your life.
All right, so maybe something like that. Now I'm gonna do it from the opposite way. So our hump here,
Stop watching TV. Life is
right, would go back like so. So I'm taking this and visually or mentally rather, just kind of flipping things in my head.
watching TV. Life is simple. All emotions are beautiful. Some opportunities only come once. Seize them. Life is
Thank you, Adriana. And then let's get our front here. I do like sketching very loosely. That's just how I draw. So in case you're wondering, why are his lines so loose? That's why. TikTok legit told me, you need to take a break, dude. I just want to be like, you don't know me. Actually, they probably know a lot about me. All these social media companies know a lot about us. That they do. That they do. All right, something like that. Then we got this piece here.
what your passion
Like,
Share your
comes
spark.
back
Some opportunities
and down.
only come once.
Like so. Thankfully, I don't have to draw all the details on this back one. I use Flare more than ballpoint because I'm lazy and I like to sketch fast. But I mean, depends on the mood I'm in. Sometimes I'll do ballpoint sketch too. It just depends. It really just depends. But great question, thank you. By the way, if you do want to find out about the stuff I use, you can always go to sketchaday.com/stuff. It's quite literally that simple. /stuff. And that will take you to a page that has information on, generally, I need to update it, but it has information on the stuff I use. sketchaday.com/stuff. Oh wow, I've been going for like almost 2 hours. I didn't even realize. Okay, now I understand why TikTok was like, dude, take a break. You're welcome, Bergen Scott. I don't know how to say your username, but you're welcome. Okay, let's bring that line back because that meets there, and then we'll have this come down, and then we have the handle of the gun. We'll probably just see a little bit of it through here, maybe like so from the back. And I'm gonna bump the line weight on the sketch in the front because that's like the important one. Maybe I'll just carry this line through because then it kind of completes the design almost, you know, like you got this like strong visual element through. Anyhow, as I was saying, I can overlay this if I want to. You know, that would mean taking this off and putting it under and repositioning and redrawing, but I've been drawing for almost 2 hours, so I'm going to just roll with it. We're just going to roll with it. All right, let's do some colors. Let's do some shiz. All right. Back to the cheapo chart packs. Back to the cheapo chart. I'm digging this green and orange vibe that we were doing before. So I think I'm going to roll with that. We've got our warm grays. We've got a basic gray. So we got blue, gray, orange options here. So that's what we're going to roll with. All right. I think I'm going to make the cartridge orange. Or whatever's inside of it anyways. We're going to steal from that other concept. This sketch in the back I'll just leave gray because I don't want to overwhelm the presentation. Dry marker. So I do have ink for this one. I'm going to set it aside so that I can top it off a little bit later. Let's keep going. Let's keep pushing. Also, this is not the longest I've ever drawn for. The longest I've ever drawn for without stopping and talking and teaching is probably, it's either 6 or 8 hours. So don't feel bad for me. I don't know, maybe you don't really feel bad anyways. You're just like, whatever, dude, just shut up and draw. Sometimes people are like that. But yeah, 8 hours was the most I've ever sat there and just been like drawing without stopping. That was crazy. Just testing colors again here. All right. So we got this yellowish. There's a sepia, pale olive. Dark olive. I'm actually not sure which color it was. Yeah, 6 hours. It was a workshop I was doing once a long time ago. Once upon a time. It was a lot of work. I don't have a term for this marker technique where you like kind of stroke and lift away from the paper. I gotta figure out a name for that so I can use it or tell it to people. I'll call it the kiss. It's like kissing the paper with the marker in a very quick stroke. I'm lifting the marker off the paper as I stroke. At least that's the way I think about it. Mixing markers here. Forbidden. I've thought about doing a 24-hour stream on YouTube before, but I'd have to get like a commitment from people to be here. Because it would be kind of lonely just hanging out by yourself the whole time, wouldn't it? I feel like it would be pretty lonely. You know, you pop in and out, whatever. That would be fine. I don't know. I'd be like nervous. How's it gonna go? The fade kiss. Maybe that's one way to think of it. Maybe so. "24 hours would be a long time. That would be so long. I don't know, maybe not 24 hours, maybe like 6 or I don't know. Just something like ridiculous. Just to see what it would be like. Just to see. All right, I want some cool color or some cool thing on the front. I'm trying to figure out. I already have this green on the inside here, and that's not a major problem. I could make it chrome tipped or shiny, but is that going to be too busy? That's the thought I have in my head. Is that going to be too busy? Probably. Probably would be. Coffee, snacks, drawing. I don't know. I'll think about it. Maybe what day though? It'd have to be like New Year's Day or some day where I knew a lot of people would tune in. Is probably when I'd have to do it. Probably something like that. Yeah, this has to be a separate color. Like, just my design gut is like, make it a different color, and I'm like, no, make it a different color. Like, it has to be. I feel like it has to be. Do it on Discord. You know, I really should. It's one of those things I still haven't figured out, and I need to, so that people, so it can be more interactive than just chat. Although not everyone wants to interact in that way, so there is that. There is that for sure. All right, woo! I'm gonna take a little breather here because I'm trying to think. Because if I make this shiny, then it needs to reflect the orange. It's too late for that. So then it's not going to feel good. So maybe just like a highly textured green. Or green where some of the paint is chipped off. I could do that. Maybe where some of the paint is kind of chipped off around the firing area. Oh, okay. Yeah, I might have to ask you. I just designed these from my head, just randomly. But thanks for joining on the TikToks. I also stream on YouTube. This is a Sketchaday Live, Sci-Fi Sunday. I like doing sci-fi on Sundays. Lucky you, if you're a sci-fi fan. So yeah, I'm going to do this in a way that makes it feel like some of the paint or whatever is kind of peeling off the front. I'll have to use some pen, some white marker and whatnot as well. Blend a little bit here. Wrong marker. I was like, why is this not blending? It's totally the wrong marker. All right, a little bit like that. Sorry, I was just responding to a text that I got. All right. Let's keep going. All right, so this is where I can use, I think, a little bit of white pencil now. Just kind of help things out where it needs it. We'll break out the white pen, all that good stuff. All these like worn edges over our blaster.
Captain Jet. I mean Captain Satellite. Who lives there?
So yeah, generally speaking, I like to draw stuff from my head. For those wondering. I mean, I'll look at stuff for reference for sure. I used to resist doing that for a long time, actually. Gotta shade that in, and then for the handle, just because we can. Should I? Dare I? Yes, I should. I'm kidding. I was gonna make it wood, but I'm just gonna make it like some sort of knurled metal. I'll have to use pen for that part. Gonna make this a little darker too. Probably shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Mixing markers just to make that a little darker. I mean, it worked out okay, but generally speaking, I don't like to do that because sometimes the colors that you get can just be off, you know? Sometimes, not always, sometimes. Especially if you're mixing alcohol markers with like another type of marker. So yeah. Thanks again for joining me on Sketch Day Live. I should have put my wings in the oven because they'd be ready by the time I'm done here. Actually, maybe I'll do that. My iPad is now 39% charged, but I really don't want to be drawing for 2.5 hours. That's a long time. It's a really long time. And y'all are gonna be like, just do it, just do it. "30 minutes won't kill you." I haven't eaten anything all day. I need to. But yeah, generally I don't like to do weapons, but here we are. Y'all requested it. Why does it take so long to charge? Is it in the power? It's in the power brick. Well, at first it was plugged into sorry, I was just thinking, should I just do it anyways or not? And I'm not going to, and here's why. Because I want to be full of energy and fresh when I do it. I don't want to half-ass the brush thing for you. So I would say I'd do it tomorrow morning, but I do have to take my truck in for service. So tomorrow's just going to be a busy day for me. Anyhow, it was plugged into the HDMI adapter, which normally isn't a problem. but for some reason it was like slowing down the charge, and I don't know why. So thank you. I'm gonna assume your name is Mike or Michael. Thank you. Clever username though. Very clever. So yeah, I don't want to like be like dragging and low energy, and you know, as I show off these brushes and talk about stuff. So I'm gonna wait, but I'm gonna put that on my list of things to cover for next time. At least that's my plan. I keep using the wrong marker. Too funny. Like, I think this is it. All right, just some finishing touches here. Like I said, this one in the back, I'm just gonna hit it with some light gray. In fact, I'll probably just use this toner gray, just so that it functions more as a backdrop to the main sketch. All right, just stuff like that. Quite literally. Just a little bit of shadow, like so. And that's it. So that becomes the background to that one. So yeah, I don't know why it wasn't charging, but just wasn't charging today. These things always seem to happen right as I want to stream or whatever. It's kind of weird how that works, but it is what it is. All right, a little bit more wear through here. You don't want to use your white. You don't want to use your white pen until you're like pretty close to being done. Okay? Because it's going to make it hard for you to reapply any sort of marker on your sketch. It's basically sealing the paper. Think of it like that. Like, it's a nice, in those spots anyways, puts a nice seal on the paper, and you'll never be able to add more color to those spots. All right, home stretch. Here we go. Home stretch. I'm just adding a few highlights here on the grip. That grip. I'm terrible. Okay, let's take this gray. I'm just gonna use the gray here to kind of tone this knurling. so. Like I said, the marker tends to dry back in value. So as you apply it, at least with this chart pack, whatever you get in the end is going to be a little bit lighter than when you first apply it. It's going to be a Boba Fett vibes. Maybe. This feels a little too angular for Boba Fett, though. A little too angular. Maybe add a few details here and there. Maybe some text. Alright, so what I'm trying to do here is just hit a few of these. Not a few. Anything that's like upward facing. So just a little rounded edge on these little knurl pieces. At least I'm imagining there's a slightly rounded edge here. Same for right here. Just kind of hit that with a little bit of the white. It's going to help it feel more three-dimensional, more real, more interesting, more relatable when you do it that way. Just like that. Very, very subtle. And then on a few of these, maybe just this little edge here. Just a couple of these dots. All right, so you can kind of see how that, hopefully anyways, how that feels. Okay, last thing I want to do is just some line weight adjustments here with a Sharpie just to clean things up toward the bottom of the sketch. Started to do that on the bottom here where there might be a shadow, maybe towards the back as well. Under here. Just clean that up a little bit. I said last thing, but almost last thing. All right, a little bit of shadow there. Whew. Okay, there we go. Now it's feeling more three-dimensional. Of course, there's always so much you can do with your sketch. You just have to get to a point eventually where you're like, all right, I'm done. Okay. I think I'm there. I'm done, mostly. All right, so there you go. There's your blaster. We did some thumbnails as a precursor. That one would have been fun to do too, but we ended up going with this guy here. There it is. All right. Did some marker technique stuff as well, showing you how to create some depth, realism. We did our fighter jet. That was pretty fun. Thanks for the suggestion. A little bit of studies, and hopefully you can kind of see the pattern here. You know, you got to look up something, study it a bit, and then figure out, okay, how can I modify it? But then that way you end up with something, you know, that feels believable. There's some more thumbnails there, and kick the stream off with some warm-up sketches of some sci-fi towers. So, thank you for being here. Thanks for being a part of this adventure. Thanks for joining me on TikTok for those who joined, and on YouTube here. I'll be back definitely next Sunday, hopefully a day in between this week as well. Hope to see you here. Smash that remind button, subscribe. Actually, probably the best thing you can do if you like the show today is drop a comment, drop a question, but also drop a request. So if you want to see something next time, drop that in there. My phone will get pinged and I can go, all right, cool. Here's what I know we need to cover next time. All right. So if you had fun, definitely drop a comment. Even if you hated the stream, drop a comment. It actually helps me out on YouTube anyways, specifically. Got to get that engagement up. So let me know if you have any questions, any requests for next time. I'd be happy to cover that. Most likely I'll be live Tuesday or Wednesday this week. Definitely not tomorrow. So I hope to see you there. And if not, I hope you have a fantastic week. Remember, if you learned something today, take a moment and teach someone. Understand it yourself. Teach someone. That's going to help you be better in the long run. And if you don't believe me, just give it a try. Shout out and thanks to the patrons and channel members, as always, for your continued support. Much love and respect to you all. I will be putting these sketches up for the patrons and channel members. And until next time, friends, I'll see you right here on Sketch-A-Day. Peace.